Hi folks, this is a review of Use of Weapons by Iain and Banks. This is the third in my recent reread of the culture books. And I really enjoyed this revisit to Iain Banks's carefully crafted civilizations. So the Use of Weapons follows Chiradaneen Zakalwe, a former operative in special circumstances, the sharp end of the culture intervention in emerging civilizations that might not be developing quite how the culture would prefer. The novel has two intertwining threads. So one is current, as special circumstances try to rehire Zakalwe for one last mission, and the other is Zakalwe's backstory, with each chapter on this thread giving a slice of his experience, all the way from childhood to his initial recruitment and later active service as a special circumstances agent. Zakalwe is persuaded out of retirement only because special circumstances can tell him where his sister, his only remaining sibling, now lives. He desperately wants to see her, although we don't really know why. He agrees to the terms offered and travels off to a particular corner of the galaxy, where a brushfire conflict is due to flare up. Special circumstances view this as both a risk and an opportunity. With a suitable intervention, the use of the correct weapon, it may be possible to contain the conflict and to encourage the right party to win, thereby setting the local star cluster on the right course. One more to the culture's taste. I like the structure of the novel, with one thread counting upwards and one counting downwards, challenging conventional storytelling. Banks uses this structure to explore the complexity of human nature, moral ambiguity, and the consequences of choices made, all set against the backdrop of a galactic civilization. Fragmented structure mirrors Zakalwe's mind, fragmented and complex. I found this a little bit disorienting at times, but I was fine once I got my eye in. It did take a few chapters. Banks explores themes of power, ethics, and human capacity for both altruism and cruelty. Zakalwe is a skilled soldier and strategist, and he's an embodiment of these conflicting elements. His character is brilliantly layered, revealing different facets of his persona as the story unfolds. Zakalwe is both a saviour and a destroyer, raising essential questions about the nature of heroism and the blurred lines between right and wrong. If you're not familiar with the culture, it's a post-scarcity utopian society with advanced AI and technology, allowing its citizens to pursue personal fulfillment. All is cool in the gang in the culture. Also, what do you mean you're not familiar with the culture? Go and read some immediately. Anyway, I enjoyed the contrast between the culture, the quasi-perfect society, and the more complicated moral landscape that exists at its boundaries. This is where the culture employs special circumstances, resorting to morally ambiguous actions for what it perceives or calculates is the greater good. This moral ambiguity is at the heart of Use of Weapons. I like the way that the book challenged me to grapple with the idea that what might be perceived as good in one context might just as easily be seen as evil in another. The use of weapons, literal and allegorical, serves as a powerful metaphor for the choices that we make and the unintended consequences that often follow. This theme is exemplified in Zakalwe's actions and the outcomes of his missions, which left me contemplating the blurred lines between hero and villain. I was struck by the fact that the title really refers to Zakalwe, he and others like him. He is a weapon used with surgical precision by the culture to expand or preserve its influence. Banks's prose is rich and vivid, painting a colourful tapestry of the galaxy and its inhabitants. His ability to describe both the grandeur and the brutality of this universe adds depth to the story, and I was quite happy to be immersed in the complexity. Dialogues are sharp and thought-provoking, offering philosophical insights into the characters' minds and the society that they inhabit. Zakalwe's story comes to a surprising, even shocking finish when he finally meets his sister after delivering his end of the bargain. Put it this way, it is not a loving family reunion. There were clues, but I didn't see it coming, even though I've read it before. Zakalwe is much more broken than I thought. With that weapon used up, the book ends with special circumstances recruiting another. I think that Use of Weapons is my favourite of the three culture novels that I've reread recently. I give it a stellar, complex, morally ambiguous 9 out of 10. As always, thanks for watching, and until the next video, goodbye for now.